Since its inception for over 100 years, Friendly Avenue has had a vision to bring all people into the joy of a transforming relationship with Jesus Christ. Friendly Avenue has always been about connecting people to God. People are our mission, and bringing them to God is our goal. In 2005 to 2015, under the leadership of Dr. Pat Cronin, the church set out on a journey to explore the next 10 years of ministry. This journey, which featured much prayer, dialogue, and a unified heart to seek the will and mind of God, led the church to adopt a renewed vision called the Next Decade of Ministry. This vision, the next 10 years of ministry from 2005 to 2015, led to the acquisition of additional property, a redesigned campus layout, and the construction of a facility that would serve all generations, the Ministry Center.
It was a privilege about 14 years ago to begin the process of the Ministry Building Committee to build this wonderful building that we are able to use today. You know, when you begin a process like this and you're starting with a building from scratch, you know what your needs are, but exactly how do you go about deciding what works for what you need in the future? Because you're designing something not for today, but you're designing it for the future.
It was a building that would be used to reach all ages and peoples for Christ, from children to seniors, from mission endeavors to discipleship ministries. This multi-purpose facility would be used as a tool in the hands of God to reach Greensboro.
I remember one time in a session where we were sharing with the church what was going on and where we were with the process, I said, well, you know, it would be great if God would just show us, like He did Noah, the exact dimensions, exactly what we needed to build. So we were quite a ways along in the process, and I looked at what the Scripture says, 300 cubits by 50 cubits wide. That translates, if you're figuring 18 inches a cubit, that translates to 33,750 square feet. So literally, this building is exactly the design of one level of the Ark. The Ark that you see when you enter in from the Ministry Center entrance, that was not built for that purpose, but it is interesting as every time I see it just to remind me that this building is the size of one level of the Ark.
Hey, as Associate Pastor of Discipleship and Evangelism, I'm very pleased to report to you just how blessed our ministry and associated ministries have been by the Friendly Avenue Baptist Church Ministry Center.
This building allows us to have so many things. We have 13 Sunday school classrooms. Some of them are used by adults, some are used by youth. We have a fantastic youth ministry room.
Consider how much we've utilized the classroom space for things such as Sunday school, grow group meetings, staff meetings, and so forth. Even our Hispanic church planting committee for the Piedmont Baptist Association has made use of our ministry center for meetings on a regular basis.
When I speak of the multiple purpose room, it really has served so many purposes across the years.
The multi-purpose room has been the place where we've hosted a number of reach events designed to share the gospel with the community. We've had 3 sportsmen's banquets, wild game meals for the men of the community and the men of our church, in which we've filled this place up with almost 400 men who've shared together and heard the gospel presented by a keynote speaker. We've hosted 3 Christmas store events where we've used the multi-purpose room as a place to both pack and to do small group sharing of the gospel in multiple languages simultaneously.
When you walk into the Ministry Center multi-purpose room on a Sunday morning, you do not think gym, you think I have come to worship. Because it can be transformed from a gym, yes, to a worship center. And you definitely feel a sense of worship as you come in to the setting.
Kids grow, and annual vacation Bible school gatherings have taken place there, not to mention our previous format with Awanas and other midweek children's activities which take place in the multipurpose room. In terms of discipleship ministry, the multipurpose room has also been a blessing. I can think of 2 mixed company, men and women together, disciple-making conferences that have taken place there. I can think of 1 women's discipleship conference that took place there on a Saturday morning.
Even recently, we've had our state convention discipleship conference right here in this building. Ministry Center makes that possible, even in this season of COVID.
Our international community has made good use of the multipurpose room and the Student Ministry Center.
At the point in time that we built this, we were having a contemporary service that was in the fellowship hall. At that point in time, our Korean ministry was just getting started well. We had 1 family we had adopted, and that family brought others, and it was multiplying and multiplying to the point that with the existence of the Ministry Center, we were able to dedicate the fellowship hall area for the Korean ministry. And they utilize all that space now for their ministry.
Both national and regional Korean pastors' conferences have taken place in our multipurpose room. An annual Korean Vacation Bible School takes place in the multipurpose room. The 10th anniversary of our Korean church was celebrated in our multipurpose room. The La Red Hispanic Church meets upstairs in our Student Center and just recently celebrated the 3rd anniversary of their ministry. Our Cambodian Baptist Church currently meets in the multipurpose room. And there have been times where International Mission Board missionaries have spoken to our entire congregation or to small groups such as Sunday school classes in our multipurpose room. What a blessing this building has been to the international community that God has brought to our city. And then there's the local community. Consider how we have used the multipurpose room as a place during COVID-19 to be able to spread out and safely pack bags, packets that we give to people every other Tuesday during our food distribution ministry. The Red Cross has conducted blood drives in the multipurpose room during COVID-19.
Guilford County Schools have used it for testing sites for some of their students when they need a real quiet place to be when they're taking exams.
Every day, people from our community are given the opportunity to come and walk just to find a warm and safe place for exercise in our multipurpose room.
It does have a lot of recreational possibilities that we've utilized. We've had youth basketball teams that have come here and played. Our association has their teams and they've come several times here to play.
And so, all told, Friendly Avenue Baptist Church Ministry Center has served our community and our church in wonderful ways and has been a platform for ministry and neighborly kindness.
The church owes just under $1.2 million on the Ministry Center, a building that was built over 1 decade ago. Since its construction, Friendly Avenue has welcomed many new families and members to join in her mission. In 2019, the church adopted a goal to reach 100 new families over the next 5 years called Vision 2025. The vision was not a new one, but rather an effort to link the past vision to a present reality. We have reached many new families and members, well on our way to reaching those 100 new families, but many of them are unaware of the continued debt the church owes on the Ministry Center building. As we now look to the next decade of ministry, it is our goal to remove the Ministry Center debt so the church can resource other key ministry and mission needs as we seek to reach and equip Greensboro and beyond with the gospel. The past year, with a worldwide pandemic at hand, has been financially challenging on many in our congregation. But God has remained faithful, and so have you. We are so incredibly grateful. The church recently renegotiated its Ministry Center loan, but we have a principal payment of $200,000 due on June 17th of this year. And the church leadership, including the finance committee, recommends that we use the third Sunday in the months of March, April, May, and June and designate all funds that come in those days to retire a large portion of the Ministry Center debt. The church received several generous stock donations this year that will be applied to the general budget to allow us to offset general budget shortfalls on third Sundays for these special offerings. Friendly Avenue, we can do more than take in the $200,000 needed in June. It is our goal that we retire a large portion of the $1.2 million owed on the Ministry Center these next 4 months. This will be the first step in a calculated plan to retire the Ministry Center debt in the next 3 years. So will you pray about giving above and beyond the tithe from March to June as we collectively erase the Ministry Center debt to pave the way for an even brighter future for the lost of Greensboro and the Triad region? Here is how you can give.